Hey everyone, welcome back to the Absurd Innovation series. And this time around, I was in the pursuit of an ultra short throw projector that I could use within my office. And it's basically the worst setup that anyone would want to use ultra short throw projector. My goal was to be able to have something that I could display on my wall during daylight. And projectors don't really play well when there's ambient light within a room, so this was a pretty tall challenge. And so I settled in on the Wemax 1 Pro that you see here. This is the model that is 7,000 lumens. I tried the normal Wemax 1, which is pretty impressive. It's virtually identical to this, except it's only 5,000 lumens, and then I didn't find that quite bright enough. And so I opted for the 7,000 model. And this is one of the cheapest ultra short throw projectors that are 4K that you'll find on the market right now. So I have this set up on my floor, which isn't an ideal setup, and you'll see why that is in a second. It's sitting 23.5 inches from the wall. That's the front of the projector. The back of the projector is 34.5 inches away. It's about 11 inches wide for the device itself. So, if you have this sitting on a table, you're gonna have to have it a little bit away from the wall, which isn't the most elegant of setups. But with that in mind, if I step back here, you'll see this is projecting its screensaver across the entire wall. And I have to step basically back all the way in this room. And it is almost a 14-foot wide image that's being projected. It's about 180 inches, which is more than the diagonal maximum that it's advertised for. It advertises a 150-inch screen max. This is about 180 inches across for this diagonal. You can see it's showing some Chinese advertisements, and the power plug requires an Asia to US. You can see on that power strip there, it's plugged into that white block adapter. The plug is a Asian electrical cord that it ships with. It also ships with that US converter. So this is manufactured for the Chinese market. And if I go to the home screen on the remote, you can see the remote is virtually identical to Amazon Fire Stick remote. And here we have the home screen. So keep in mind, about half the windows in this room are open right now. And so it's a fair amount of light. This is probably the amount of brightness within a regular office setup that you'd want during the daytime. We're mid-afternoon right now, so there's plenty of sunshine coming into the room. The menu system is this mix of Chinese and English. This is English selected within the settings. So this is set up for English, and you can see it's probably 85% still in Chinese. You can see applications showing up in HDMI and AV in English. Across the top, not much in English besides VIP. So English in the settings doesn't really do you much good. There are ways to root the system and get this operating system entirely in English, but the simpler way seems to be hooking up a media player, something like a Chromecast or a Fire Stick or a Hulu, Roku device, and just bypass this menu system altogether. Once you have this connected to your Wi-Fi, you'll never, just to make sure the firmware is updated, you'll never have to see this, because you can have it load directly to the input, something like the Fire Stick. So I will go to that Fire Stick right now, and you can see here on the home screen, It's pretty good. It's watchable. It's not perfect. I'm gonna open up YouTube and play a video just so you can get a sense of what this looks like in daylight. 7,000 lumens is pretty good. Of course, if I had it closer to the wall, back down to the 150-inch maximum or even less, you're gonna get the brightness much greater, closer to what a television would offer within a room. So here, playing a video, and the sound coming out this is pretty good. Almost soundbar-like in quality. So here we have this drone footage, and what I'm gonna do is close these windows so you can get a sense when there's less light. Now we've closed that window. That picture is really good now. And now if I close this all the way, there's still some light leaking through these shutters here. But that's 180 inches. This is not a 4K video coming on YouTube, but still really good. I should mention that if I turn off the projector and open these windows back up, this is not on a screen. This is why I say this is probably the worst setup that you can possibly have for a 4K projector, which is, this is being projected onto just a normal wall. And even at that, if I turn off the projector and walk up to this wall, it's a dark wall and it's textured. So there's been no work done to this wall at all. At some point I may smooth it out and even put on something like an ultra short throw, highly reflective paint on this. But for now, the screen is awful because there is no screen. It's just dark textured wall. And even with that, if we turn back on the projector, boot it back up, you could hear the fan noise. Fan noise is minimal. When you have something playing, like a movie or music, you don't hear it at all. And so here you see the startup screen, and it will go directly into the Fire Stick. Since it's detecting that, we can reopen YouTube, go back into that video. For just a normal painted wall, even in daylight, not too bad. At nighttime, if you close these shutters, the screen gets really good, even on a textured wall. So that's the first part of this absurd review, is just using a 4K projector during daytime on a textured wall that's dark, and it's a pretty good screen. Now we'll go to part 2 of this absurd setup that we have. So here in the second part, you can see those windows that I've opened up now with the shutters, so you can see the light that was coming through. And you'll see the bottom 2 panels are covered and the top 2 are clear. And what I'm going to do, since this is Halloween season, is I'm going to use the projector to show Halloween related animated images on the windows so they get projected to our front of the house through this window. And I'll actually have 3 projectors around the house set up like this. The frosted covering is just shower curtains that I've cut up to fit the window panes, and I'm going to cover up the top portions as well. And when it gets darker, I will show you all what this looks like with a 4K projector showing on the outs underneath an image and what it looks like on the outside of the house. Okay, so this is one of the shower curtain panels that I've cut, and you can see how wrinkled it comes from the packaging. And so what I recommend is that you throw these in the dryer for about 2 minutes on medium heat. You might have to check it in case your dryer is warmer than mine, but that will get these major lines out of your shower curtain that you're using as a screen, and allow you to project a cleaner image. It might get a little bit wrinkled in general, but that is a better outcome than these much deeper folding lines that are in the plastic. All right, so now it's nighttime and we have the projector facing the windows with our frosted shower curtain on it. And we'll go outside and take a look to see how the 4K projector performs outside. So here on the outside, we can see the projection of a haunted room. It's obscured by the trees a little bit, but can see even with the other outside lights, you can see through what's being projected off the projector. So overall, pretty good Halloween edition. You can see the rest of the house here. Here on this side, we got another similar setup, although not with a 4K projector. We have another frosted shower curtain window with Charlie Brown and their Halloween special. All right, thanks for this absurd innovation and use of projectors.